5 straight punch-outs for Drew Whalen.
Swing and a miss. It is launched over the right field bullpen.
Western Kentucky, what do you say? You can't do any better than shutting out a team 2 days in a row.
What can you say? Hilltopper baseball is on a historic run to start their season.
And led by the arm of Jack Bennett, boasting one of the best ERA in the nation, this pitching staff is commanding Conference USA.
Plus, Ryan Wyman is reaching national media on SportsCenter's Top 10.
Pass is called one-handed grab. Are you kidding me, Dalvin?
Dug him with space inside the 10. Looks to break the tackle, and he breaks the end zone.
They will keep it on the ground with Wales. Not only will he get the first down, he'll get the touchdown and the championship.
Use it for Rogers for 3 for the win. Western Kentucky does it great.
The grass is red in Kentucky. Holy moly.
The Hilltoppers are champions of Conference USA.
Welcome inside of Studio 2, the home of the Extra Point. I'm Lincoln Bryant, and that's Megan Geisler.
And Lincoln, we are so excited to be back for another hour of local sports. Let's start with Hilltopper baseball and their dominant sweep over Sam Houston. Lincoln, what were some of your key takeaways from the series?
Well, Megan, one of my key takeaways is that this team was amazing with their pitching staff. They absolutely shoved. They literally made history. They only allowed 1 run the whole series, and that is the first time since 1982. With those 33 strikeouts and, as a staff, a .33 ERA, they were just dominant over those hitters, and they got the win in the series.
It wasn't just their pitching, though. One thing they were very, very good at was they were aggressive on the baseline. I saw more stolen bases than I think I've ever seen in a game before. I think in one game, in the 4th inning alone, they had 4 stolen bases in 1 inning. That is crazy to me. And that's something that, yeah, they are so aggressive. If they see the opportunity, they dive for it, literally. They are on top of everything, stealing the bases and getting those hits that matter.
Yes, they were so aggressive on the base pass, and there's one player that I really want to point out, and I'm going to say it, call it triple-triple, because his name is Kyle Hayes, and he went 5 for 9 on the series with 3 extra base hits, 3 runs scored, and 3 runs batted in. He was that guy for Western. His name's Kyle Hayes. He got it done hitting the ball.
Yes, they had great hitting. They had great pitching. They had great stealing of the bases. I think overall, we have a pretty solid team this year. I mean, we're undefeated at home. I was there for most of these games, and I was just in shock the whole time about how fast things were moving and everything else that was going on. It was a fast-moving game, especially with all this weather we've had. They were able to do so well, and sometimes not the best environment. And now the Tops traveled to Nashville for a top 25 matchup on Tuesday. Let's hear the sounds of the game from Music City.
Toward the gap in left center, slicing back toward Rigdon, the left fielder, and the run will come around to score as Vasquez all the way from first base.
That was just one that you heard off the bat and said, yep, that one's out.
Oh, Johnson hammers this one deep left field. Forget it. 4-1 Commodores. The 1-1. Fly ball deep right center field. It's Weidman going back to the wall. He jumps. And he got it. He got it. It looked like he took a home run away from Mike Mancini that would have won the game at the top of the wall. What a play.
In the big stage of Music City, the Tops fell in extras. Lincoln, what went wrong?
I mean, you saw the robbery. That was the hype of the game, but there were some things that Western just really didn't do right in this series. They competed in the end, but that was just way too late for them. They just have to start earlier. And like I said, the things that went wrong, really, it was their 15 team strikeouts. They just did not have the right approach going up to the plate, and their errors. They just weren't confident on the field, especially in key moments to the walk-off. It just really wasn't working for Western in the middle of the game.
I know, and it seems like such a different team than we saw earlier in the week. I mean, they went from hitting the ball so much to getting those strikeouts like you said. But they did do something well. In the 8th inning, they started scoring. They tied the game. They got it when it mattered. And we cannot talk about this game if we don't talk about that amazing catch. I know, Lincoln, you were there when it happened. Tell me what you were thinking.
I literally heard the lady behind me scream, "Oh my gosh," and I was behind a camera and I didn't really see it going, and I thought it was a homer, but then I saw Ryan Wyman screaming with his chest out, and that was his best play of the game. Like I said before, it got on the top 10 of SportsCenter, top 2. Like you said, it could have been number 1. I think it was number 1 personally just because of the hype of the game. It could have been the win for Vandy, but unfortunately we fell to him after that R.J. Austin walk-off. Now let's hear from Coach Raridan on the loss to Vandy.
I guess, for us, we got to limit strikeouts. We have 15 strikeouts tonight, and we're better than that. We lose focus as, I think, a whole for our approach at the plate at times, and we'll go 2 innings of just like random as a whole, just losing our approach, and all of a sudden we're taking pitches for strikes and then swinging at balls and striking out, and it gets like contagious for like 2 innings. And then all of a sudden you'll see us just everybody get hot. And all of a sudden in a flurry of all of a sudden everybody stroking it, and it's 3 runs in a hurry. And, we just got to stay contagious in the positive way and eliminate so much of the negative that goes through the lineup at times, with the bad at-bats.
Saw the Tops against another top 25 team with Vandy, but they're going to go play one more. So let's look ahead to another top 25 matchup against Dallas Baptist. Lincoln, what makes the Patriots top 25 good?
They are just a great team offensively, all over the board. They're killing the ball. I mean, last week in their series against New Mexico State, they had 23 total runs. Like, you don't see that from a team in a series often. And then there's their .311 team batting average. This team is killing the ball. But there is one thing they don't do that well, and that is their ERA. I feel like Western's offense can put up a lot of runs because they average 5.2 runs a game. And their offense is good, but I think Western's offense can be better.
The one thing I am worried about is Western tends to play better when they are at home. And we are playing Dallas Baptist away. And if you look at the stats, Western has only won 1 away game against Dallas Baptist, whereas Dallas Baptist has won 2 home games. But when Western's at home, they've won 2 games, and Dallas Baptist has only won 1. And I think that's important to note that it is on the away games that Western does seem to struggle so far this season. We're undefeated at home, and it worries me just a little bit.
Yeah, and there's another thing that really worries me, and that's Grant Jay for the Dallas Baptist Patriots. He is a part of that dominant offense. He has a .374 ERA, and he has 12 homers on the year. That is top 10 in the NCAA. He's just really dominant for Dallas Baptist.
Yes, and up next, we're switching from the mound to the circle. Hear about one of the top conference that is making history on the Hill.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. It's time to talk about some Hilltopper softball.
Let's start with WKU series against La Tech, where the Tops won 2 out of 3 in their conference game. What do they do best, Megan?
The same thing that I have been talking about and preaching about all day is the offense of these both baseball and now softball teams. They had 17 runs overall in the series off of 22 hits, 4 home runs overall, and they walked a total of 10 times, and then we threw 13 strikeouts, but their offensive game is on point. I mean, so many people are hitting home runs, and I think that is incredible because usually I'm not expecting to see a lot of home runs, but in these games, there's one every game.
Exactly, and there's also their pitching. You got to account for Ryland Smith. She is that girl when it comes to being on the mound for Tudor. Tudor's just so confident when it comes to Ryland Smith. She got 2 wins over the series. She had 1 complete game shutout and the 7 Ks over the weekend and only allowed 4 hits. This team was not hitting off of Ryland Smith. They were not touching her, but she was just really the dominant for them, and they could turn her like they did in Lipscomb. The Hilltopper offense posted 8 runs against them. And Megan, what were their keys to success?
Again, gonna say it again. You're gonna be tired of me saying it by the end of the night. But it was their offense. I mean, if we look at Annie White this time, Annie White had 3 runs scored and a 3-run homer by Annie White. She was hitting nonstop all night. And we also had a 2-run home run by Randy Drennan, and this was her first home run of the season, which is great for her. Also, Charlotte Heron, 2 RBIs. We are hitting almost every ball that comes the Hilltoppers' way.
And you're right, you're talking about the hitting. Well, I'm going to bring up the pitching again. Ryland Smith was back out there for Lipscomb, like I said. And they threw, it was like, you said the offense, it was 8-0. But then Lipscomb tried to come back in the 6th inning, but there was a shutout until that 6th inning where Ryland Smith was throwing absolute dominance. And then Maddie Wood came in, but she would give up the 3 runs, or Ryland gave up the 3 runs. But they controlled it. Lipscomb couldn't come back, and Western got the win.
I'm really impressed with WKU's softball performance so far this season. I've seen them on multiple occasions, and I think both our baseball and softball teams are really setting themselves up for success. But next up, we are going back on the bump. How did the hometown Purples face off in their matchup against St. X?
And what is South Warren baseball doing right to be the top team in the state? Find out next on the Extra Point.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. High school baseball is in full swing, but some weather got in the way of this week's games.
Well, Megan, you did get to go to Bowling Green High School and cover that game. Really, I was just glad that you got to go see some baseball during these storms that we had that were terrible, but you got to go see some baseball.
It was a great game, some comeback wins. We had some flipping of the script, flipping of burger patties. Let's take a look at some of those highlights. The first inning of this game was definitely the most exciting, and it started off hot with St. X number 21, Brody Benefield, hitting a 2 RBI home run. But the Bowling Green Purples were quick to combat this little run with Harrison Yates hitting a double, thus giving the Purples the lead. This little girl was not impressed though. She knew the Tigers would make their way back, and the Purples did not stand a chance. The Purples are good at baseball, but they are even better at tag. It's like the ball is scared of them. They evaded the out once, now they evaded the out twice, and one more time, take a look at this, they're gonna evade the out for a third time. Now, I knew that little girl knew something that I didn't, because St. X makes a huge comeback, and it starts with number 10, Wyatt Graven, hitting a bomber to send 2 of his teammates home before ending it out with a real nice slide in the third. Then we end it just as we began with Brody Benefield hitting a rocket, running the first and allowing his teammate to slide right into home. Just like these burger patties, the St. X Tigers flipped the script in this game, winning 9-8. But down the road, South Warren is top 10 in the state. Lincoln, how are they looking this good?
Well, I was an alumni recently there, and we were just not that good as South Warren is this year. The Spartans are really cracking down on winning games. They are 9-1 already in the season. This team is just looking great. They have a WKU commit, Ethan Reynolds, and he's hitting .545 for them right now. Their offense is just so dominant. I think this team could go all the way through the region tournament and then go to state tournament and do better there.
Yeah, Lincoln, if there was one thing you can point out about the South Warren Spartans that you are like, this is what they're good at, this is why they're winning games, what is one of those things?
I feel like it's their young pitching that really just does it for them. It leads off with their senior, not the youngest one, but he's the senior, Mikey Cordini. He's got 24 Ks already this year. He's only pitched three games, and he has that .47 ERA with 15 innings pitched. He's just very dominant for them, and they have a young bullpen. But they're doing it. They're getting the job done, like Jacob Lobb and Austin Allen. They're both getting a great job. And in a recent prep poll, they're 6th in the state. South Warren is getting it done.
I mean, we got to go see that game. We saw one of these South Warren games. They were playing East Warren, and I was really impressed about how they played and how aggressive they were. You could tell they were really going out for every hit, going out for every out. They were putting in the work, and I think they're really starting to see it pay off.
Next, learn about the key transfers WKU football is getting.
And football analyst Gus Warren joins the show with a film breakdown on quarterback Maverick McIver, next on the Extra Point.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. We're going to talk some WKU football in April.
And let's first break down some of the departing players from last year's team. Megan, who are you going to miss?
Okay, I am going to miss Lucas Carnero, our kicker. I was his biggest fan. WKU football was amazing with him as our kicker. He was 2024 Conference USA Special Teams Player of the Year. His longest field goal was 54 yards. He was 18 for 19 field goals and had an almost 95 field goal percentage. I'm gonna miss him so much. He was just, I see him going to the NFL someday. So I really think that we lost a good one there.
He was always really dominant for Western when he would go out there and kick those 50-plus yarders. Like, you don't see that often in college football. But I'm really going to miss TJ Finley and Caden Velkamp. You know, Caden Velkamp being that Southbourne alumni, I did get to watch him in high school, so I was excited to see him play for the Toppers. And he was good, but it might not have just been the place for him. And I'm excited to see what he does at Liberty because I think that's more like his home. But Megan, who are you really excited to see that's coming in?
So you mentioned that we're losing two of our quarterbacks that we had last season, but we are getting a new quarterback, Maverick McIver. He came and he is actually coming with his head coach, Rick Bowie. And Rick Bowie is going to be the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for Western Kentucky. So they're familiar with each other, they know each other, and I think that's going to be a really good addition to the team because of that great chemistry they already have.
You're right. That's definitely right. There's definitely going to be some chemistry there. And we can also improve Western's run game with Lavelle Wright coming in from Austin Peay. He's a great running back, and he's played at UK. He has that SEC experience. He's going to be that guy for Western that really can improve Western's run game, and I'm excited to see him play for the Tops. And now let's hear from receiver Musa Berry on what fans can expect from this Hilltopper offense.
Mav, he came in here ready to roll. Soon he committed, I texted him, like, let's get going. Coming in with his OC, it's just been a smooth transition with him. And, they're trying to throw the ball, that's lovely for us. So, I'm saying, we love that. Coach Bowie's bringing in the explosive, air raid offense. And, some of the concepts are similar and whatnot, but, he's just adding his pieces and bits to it, and I love it. Coach Bowie's an exciting guy. He's encouraging every time I see him, high energy. I love that. I love to play for a coach like him.
Now we are joined by lead football analyst Gus Warren. Gus, what can Hilltopper fans expect from Maverick McIver?
I mean, there's only one thing: fireworks, points, a lot of yards, and a whole lot of touchdowns.
And a lot of bombs.
A lot of bombs. Beautiful
He's throwing
balls.
the ball.
I mean, just look at what he did at the FC at Abilene Christian. 3,847 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, good for 7th in FCS, 2.3 touchdowns a game, also good for 7th in FCS. He was top 5 and top 10 in a lot of stat categories. I mean, just a great quarterback. He's able to withstand pressure, just able to stand up there, throw good balls, put it in the right spot. He's going to fit in just fine in a Hilltopper offense that is known to produce great college quarterbacks.
I'm excited to see him. Top Gun Maverick, he's going to shut down for us. You got some highlights for us to see this guy's film?
Oh, do I have highlights for you? Week 1 of the 2024 season, they played Texas Tech, and that was a shootout. They lost 52-51, but Maverick McIver and the Abilene Christian Wildcats let everybody know that they aren't to be messed with. And I've been hyping this guy up. If you don't believe me, just take a look at the tape. Roll it, please.
Roll it. Let's roll it.
Just look right here. Okay, this is Exhibit A. This is the first play. Look at that right there. That is a Power 4, not a Power 5 anymore, defensive lineman, screaming off the edge. Still is able to get it off. And look, touchdown. He was able to get it right.
He was able to ignore the D lineman.
I was about to say, that is a big man. That is a lot of man coming at you that fast. Exactly. I was about to say, would you just go down?
I don't know if I could get the ball out. I would just be shaking.
That's my thing. He was able to get the ball off getting hit. He is going to the ground right here. We're going to see it here in a second. Look at that.
Look at that again.
He is able to get the ball off.
Ball's gone. Where's the ball? You can't even see it. It's out of his hand.
If that was college football 25, that's a pick. And then right here, another play. I'm going to test your read. Who's getting the ball right here? The inside.
I'm taking the deep ball. Inside, deep ball.
You're taking the deep
inside.
Ball? Look at that. Perfect. The receiver gets a step on him. Another bomb. Perfect placement, and that's going to the apartments.
To the apartments, to the residence.
That's going to the crib. House call, baby. I bet he's got the house. And look at the celly. You've got to hit a celly like that after your quarterback. He put that right in the breadbasket. This is what Maverick McIver is going to be a name that Hilltopper fans never get tired of hearing. Look at that perfect way for the receiver to sell the route, and then Lincoln. That's scary. That's two defenders and one receiver. Puts it right in the breadbasket. That was perfect. I should have put a little like water droplet sound right there because that was beautiful. All right, and this right here, this is a key moment of the game. I think they were down 39-28. They got to make something happen here. And look, once again, a defensive lineman bullying that blocker, almost sitting him in his lap. Off the back foot, he finds the running back in the hole in the defense. Touchdown. This is a game again. Lincoln, this is what I'm talking about. You are never going to get tired of hearing this guy's name being yelled over the speakers in the house. Just look at that. Off the back foot, a defender right in his face. He's able to get the ball off, and he's able to find the hole in the defense. And what a route by the running back right there. I mean, just perfect. This game was crazy. Cinema. This is football. And I mean, Maverick MacGyver, he's going to be great. And let's take a look at WKU's first 4 opponents. You got Sam Houston, who was 10-3 in 2024. North Alabama, who was 3-9 in 2024. Toledo, a team we beat, who was 8-5. And Nevada, a team that was 3-10. Now, Lincoln, from looking at this schedule, looking the first 4 games, I feel like the standard has to be 3-1. Dare I even say 4-0? Sam Houston's going to be a big test.
But Sam Houston.
That's the thing. Sam Houston's a big test, but we saw what Maverick MacGyver was able to do against a team like Texas Tech.
Exactly.
And no shade to Sam Houston, but I feel like Texas Tech might be a bit of a better football school. And I mean, let's just see what they can do.
It's going to be a great fit for Western.
Maverick's got a lot of weapons.
Time for delay game. Logan and Tyler are back to talk things all college men's basketball. Hear their hot takes next on the Extra Point.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Delay a Game. A quick reminder, each contestant will have 40 seconds to argue their point without interruption. After that, the gloves are off. Today I'm joined by Logan Blanford and Tyler Fernandez to talk some college basketball. First up, let's talk about the coaches. Tyler, who is taking home Coach of the Year?
Well, there's been a lot of worthy candidates, but there's always one gem, right? One gem that stands out above the rest, and he's from the old cow town of Auburn, and his name is Bruce Pearl. All right, let's take a look at those stats here. But #1 overall seed, right? Not #1 in a region, not #1 in the SEC, #1 overall seed. And by the way, this is his second Final Four appearance during his tenure at Auburn. And he's #1, and most of the time, Auburn was #1 in the nation for most of the season, as well as being #1 in the SEC, and they won the regular season title. And that's going to be very important to when you're looking out for a Coach of the Year. And by the way, he was named AP Coach of the Year just this morning.
Well, that was one award. Logan, who's getting?
I think John Shire's going to be getting the Naismith Coach of the Year award. You look at it, he's 35-3 on the year. First Final Four in his third season with Duke. Look, he was put in a very difficult position when he had to step into the shoes that Coach K left when he retired, and he's done nothing but excel. I mean, he's outscored his opponents by nearly 100 in this NCAA tournament, and Duke's the #1 ranked team in the country. Whether you want to look at the AP poll, you want to look at KenPom, whatever you want to look at, Duke was the #1 team when the season ended, and they still are. Auburn might have been the #1 overall seed. It was debatable, but I think John Shire is going to take home this Coach of the Year award, no question.
Look, Bruce Pearl has had to deal with the SEC. The SEC was the most stacked conference this year.
That's an easy argument to use. I mean, I know you're going to go there. Oh, the SEC is the best conference. Oh, the ACC sucks.
This year it was. This year was the best conference. Bruce Pearl was the best coach in that conference, and he's been the best coach in the country
I don't even know if he was the best coach in the conference, to be honest with you. But that's a different.
No, he was Shire. Number one in the country. Like, you cannot argue the fact, #1 overall seed, that Bruce Pearl is responsibility.
Both are #1. I think John Shire's younger. He's a better basketball mind than
What
Bruce
does
Pearl.
age have to do with it?
He's
not
talking
age. He's not talking age.
Yes, we are. Now we are. I said we are.
All right. Next up, let's talk about the Player of the Year. Tyler, who is taking home the hardware?
I love that question. Can you repeat that one? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There's plenty of other candidates that you could look at for Player of the Year, but there's always one player that stands out. We're sticking it in the plains of Auburn, and we're going with Janai Broome. Dude is an All-American this year, first-team All-American, and he's averaging a double-double. I'm pretty sure there's not a whole lot of players in the country that average a double-double like he does. He's had 3 30-plus point games. That is nice. I like that.
Oh, yeah?
51% from the field. And no, he's a solid player on offense. He's solid on defense. 2 blocks per game. I mean, and he leads his team. So you cannot argue the fact that Janai Broome is going to get that Player of the Year.
He's scary on defense, but who's taking it home?
It's going to be Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg's the best player in the country. He's the best player in college basketball. Look, this dude is one of the most dominant players I have ever seen play college basketball. He's going to be special in the league, as you can see there. He's going to be the #1 overall pick. He's had 7 games with over 25 points this year, which is pretty unheard of in college basketball. He's got 7.5 rebounds per game, 19 points per game. He is just such a great leader of this team as a freshman, and we're not going to see much more of him. We're only going to see 2 more games of him in a Duke uniform. Yes, 2. So, look, Cooper Flagg is going to take home the Wooden Award. And there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This dude's the best player in the country, bar none.
Tyler, what do you think about that?
Well, if you're going to take the Brooms, I'm taking Janai Broome, because right now he's been sweeping the competition this year.
Tyler, let me ask you a question. Yes. Who do you want the basketball in the hands of? If you, one shot and you need to make it to win the national championship, you want Broome or Flagg?
No, I'm taking Janai Broome.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that's blasphemous. No. Oh, Lord.
Dude, the guy
that's absurd.
Clutch.
You're telling me you'd rather have
Janai Broome can't shoot?
Janai Broome can shoot. Hey, look, he can drive, he can shoot, he can score, he can do it from anywhere, dog.
Cooper Flagg can do that all better. Look,
how many 30-plus point games Cooper Flagg had this year? 2. He's only had 2. Janai's got 3.
Probably against Mickey Mouse Cupcake.
All right, Mickey Mouse. We're talking Disney. But now it's time for 4 teams remain, Tyler. Who's taking home the ship?
Turn that camera through.
Oh, we're doing it again.
It's Florida.
What's the sign?
This is the year for Florida to get it done. Todd Golden has shown that he is a solid coach for the Florida Gators, and they won the SEC tournament title this year, and they've been battle tested. Right? They were in close games. They won a close game against UConn, and they came from behind with like 3 minutes left in the second half, and they beat Texas Tech. They have shown that they are battle tested. By the way, don't let Walter Clayton Jr. get hot. He's a bad man.
He's bad.
Oh, yeah. And plus, they're #3 in the nation in points per game. Very interesting to hear. And I think the Florida Gators will put a Gator head on top of that.
What's that saying?
If you ain't Gator, you Gator bait.
You are incorrect. You are incorrect.
Who's winning the ship?
Duke's going to win the national championship. Nice to see you abandon the Auburn theme. I'm sure the folks down there in Central Alabama won't agree with that. Look, Duke is the best team in the country by far. Best starting 5 in the country. Sion James, Con Kniffel, Cooper Flagg. You have three top 10 draft picks on this team with Flagg, Knipple, and Mallock, who's a 7'2" beast down low that I don't know how Florida's going to deal with. Again, 35-3 on the season, as you already saw. #1 ranked team in the country. Cooper Flagg, as I said, is going to win that Wooden Award. And look, it's been 10 years since Duke cut down the nets. This is the best team they've had since 2015.
What do you think about that, Tom?
All right.
Oh.
You seriously think that a team like that can stop Walter Clayton Jr.?
Yes, I do.
Alex Condon?
Yes, I do.
Elijah
And there's a strange case we've got to get to the bottom of here.
What strange case?
What is it with you and alligators? I mean, the Florida Gators, the Green Bay Gators. Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else? You know what you need to do? You need to go down to Florida, okay, and you need to go to the lake, and you need to fish an alligator out of the pond and take him on a play date with you. That's what needs to happen.
What does a play date have to do with the national
to get to the bottom of this. This is just absurd. No
has
more
that to do with the
Gators.
national
No more
championship?
Gators.
Hey, nothing wrong with
Okay,
picking them as a
we're at
dark
the
horse.
pond already, but thanks, guys. Next up, we're taking you behind the lines with a young team that has an inspiring story. Don't miss it here on The Extra Point. All right, baby.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back to The Extra Point.
Reporter Kaylee Marshberry found out what is so special about Greenwood lacrosse.
There you go. Pick it up.
Picking up success is hard.
Oh, nice block, Mason.
Blocking out the noise is even harder.
Look.
And looking at this team, you wouldn't know the obstacles they've overcome.
Last year we struggled a lot just learning this game. We had a lot of new players, we had a lot of young players, and I just told them to stick with it and keep working and keep working.
This is the work. Every sling, pass, catch, shot, and goal. But it starts with a coach who is committed.
So here's what I want to work on.
Well, to keep up with that confidence, we just have to build it, and where we do that is in practice. Especially every day, we learn something that we have to fix before a game, because whenever you're in game, you can't really make that mistake.
Clear!
And it is clear that they hold their standards high.
They're a very hard-working group that is still coming together, but they've been through some adversity together, and they've really learned how to keep coming to work, even though some days it's not as fun.
Good. Now!
And now, their chemistry is constantly evolving.
Being able to correct each other and being able to talk about things that go wrong or whatever, but always cheering one up, always talking to the guy if someone screws up, making sure it gets out of their head and you move on to the next play. Same thing as any other sport.
Good, Aiden. And I'm not using you as a bad example. I'm just saying
let's just make sure we don't panic that much, even if there's a guy on us.
The word team means more than just players on a field.
It's family and the world to me, because I believe that as a team, we can accomplish anything on this field.
I think it means somebody you can count on, somebody who you treat as a brother, and while you can argue and you can have your moments, you have respect for one another.
And when you're on this team,
Figure it out. We're going to do this face-off deal.
you are more than just an athlete.
And I think that's what needs to be highlighted. It's not just about lacrosse. It's about building relationships, being good men. It's what they do in the classroom, what they do when they're not here.
If this team sticks to their determination, they are on the right track to success.
I believe that this program is taking a big step forward, and I believe that we could probably be a top-tier team in the state of Kentucky and go even further.
For the Extra Point, I'm Kaylee Marksberry.
Wow, Megan, it's really cool to see that a lacrosse team is becoming a big thing there at Greenwood.
Yeah, the Greenwood lacrosse, their record is 4-2 right now. 4 wins, 2 losses. They beat Scott County 14-1. Wow. They beat Mayo 15-4, and they beat North Hardin 8-1. Those are some pretty impressive scores.
They're beating up teams in Louisville?
Yeah, they're beating up people everywhere.
I mean,
lacrosse can't be
this is
can't
a
be that
hard
hard,
sport,
right?
but I mean, I guess we could try it. You wanna? Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gosh.
So actually,
ball's going everywhere. My bad, a little too strong with that one.
see, I'm good. I
don't know if I'm throwing this thing right. Hey, what you know about it?
So maybe I'm actually gonna drop out and become a lacrosse player. Woo. But I'm not gonna drop out right now because next we have to talk about women's basketball.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. Logan and Tyler are here to put an end to all of the debates surrounding women's college basketball.
I want to know what the lacrosse
Logan,
stick was for.
which coach has more on the line for their legacy in the Final Four?
I think it's Corey Close, head coach of the UCLA women's Bruins basketball team. Look, first Final Four in program history, and they've had a heck of a season. The #1 overall seed. Like I said, the first Final Four in program history, which is pretty crazy to think about considering the basketball prowess that we think of when we think of UCLA. But 34-2 this season. The only 2 losses was to those crosstown rivals, the Trojans, but then they came back and beat them in the Big Ten title game. So, look, Corey Close has a lot on the line, I think, because you don't know if they're going to have a team this good again. You know, we don't know if this is going to be a one-year thing or if they're going to be able to continue this. So that's why I think there's a lot of pressure to get it done this season.
All right, time's up. Tyler, it's your turn.
Well, as they all say in that little song by Diana Tucker, in their younger days, they called her Delta Dawn. And I'm talking about head coach of South Carolina, Dawn Staley, and there's nothing stale about her coaching style. All right, 30-3 this season. But this is her 7th Final Four appearance in the NCAA tournament in her tenure. They won both the regular season and the tournament championship. And they only lost one SEC game, only one, and that was to Texas. So when the game's on the line, you got to turn to Dawn Staley because she is a phenomenal coach, and she has shown it year after year that her coaching is what got him here and not.
All right, time's up.
But Tyler, why would Dawn Staley have more on the line? She's a 3-time national champion, right?
Well, if you want to repeat, then yeah. If you target.
But look, if
target on her back.
But if Dawn Staley doesn't win the national championship this year, there's going to be it may be championship or bust, but there's going to be no disappointment in Columbia because look, they have had it made these past few years with their women's basketball program. If they lose.
It's more than just that she had this size player in Camila Cardoso. She's a solid coach, and when her game's on the line, she's going to be solid. Dawn Staley.
So how does she have more on the line than the coach that's never been here before and wants to win it for the first time? That doesn't make any sense.
Because Dawn Staley's going to show Corey Close who her mommy is. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, okay. Just get out of here.
Come on, man. Don't be hating on anybody.
Look,
man. Don't be hating.
Well, I'm not hating. I'm just saying she doesn't have more on the line.
All right, moving on. Our next question is about the players. Logan, which star is winning the most outstanding player in this year's tournament?
Well, I'm going to go with Chloe Kitts. Look, she has really stepped up for South Carolina in this NCAA tournament so far. 8 rebounds per game. She's had double figures in every tournament game so far. 2 of those being double-doubles, by the way. And then she won MVP of the Birmingham Regional where they won in the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. So look, Chloe Kitts has really been a big part of this tournament run for South Carolina. Their leading scorer, Joyce Edwards, has kind of been off as of late. Chloe Kitts has really stepped up, and she's on track. I mean, if you look at those numbers, double figures in every game. If they win the national title, Chloe Kitts is going to be MVP this tournament, regardless of anybody else's play, because she's already got the stats in these first 4 games.
All right. Logan said his piece. Tyler, what's your opinion?
Not a bad pick, but I'm going to turn to Chapter 5, Paige Beckers. She has just been elite.
I thought it was Chapter 8.
Don't you dare talk over me, son. She averages 20.1 points per game. That is 3rd in the Big East. She is also 2nd in the Big East in field goal percentage at 54%. And she was named Big East Player of the Year. And I want to look at that last point right there. That last point, 105 points through 3 games. She has played her best basketball, not only over the course of the season, but at the right time.
All right, battle it out.
You can't argue with Paige Beckers, man. Paige Beckers, she is a beast. She has been consistent this whole tournament.
She's good, but Chloe Kitts has done way more in this tournament for South Carolina than Paige Beckers has for UConn.
Oh, no.
Look, South Carolina's been looking
How many
for somebody
40-point games does Chloe Kitts have in this tournament?
Oh, please. 40 points. Oh, please.
Zero. Goose egg. Goose egg, 0. None whatsoever.
That's just a cheap shot argument. I'll tell you what.
Oh, no. Paige Beckers. If I need a teammate on lacrosse, even though we're not talking about it, give me Paige Beckers all day. All day, every day. Paige Beckers is winning it. She is the best player on the best team.
You know, maybe we should hash it out with these lacrosse sticks after we're done. After we're done with this argument, because that's just a ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's just we might need to make different uses of lacrosse sticks.
Okay. You missed that one.
Yeah, I missed that one. Just like the women's tournament is going to a nail biter, but only one can take home the chip. Logan, who is going to win the women's national title?
It's going to be South Carolina. Now, I've said all this, but yes, I think it will be South Carolina. If you look at their dynasty that they have built, Dawn Staley is a 3-time national championship, going for 4 this year. Obviously, they're trying to go back-to-back from their incredible season last year. 5 straight 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament is pretty astounding. I mean, that's this entire decade they've been a 1 seed. that is a different level of dominant, especially in women's college basketball, where you can have some changing landscapes, and now, of course, with the state of college sports, a lot of things changes. But look, South Carolina, they're the SEC champions, as you so kindly put, and they are going to win this national championship, I believe. I think they're going to go back-to-back, and they're going to go down in history.
Interesting. Interesting you think that. I got 3 words for you. Sir Luigi, Gino, Auriemma, give me the UConn Huskies.
At least you said it right this time.
Hey, now your
11-time national champion. I'm not done yet. 11-time national champion. They have been playing excellent basketball, not only this entire season, but throughout this tournament. And I could argue that they've been playing their best basketball at the right time. Won the Big East tournament. They won it by a landslide. And by the way, not only is Paige Beckers dominant, Sarah Strong, who's a freshman. Okay, I want to repeat that. A freshman is getting it done. So, look out for UConn, man. They're going to be hot this year.
No, they aren't.
Oh,
Look,
yes, they
UConn's
are.
going down in the Final Four. First of all, I think they're going to lose to UCLA. I don't think they're going to be in that game. I think UCLA is going to take them down. I think we're going to get UCLA and South Carolina in the final.
You're serious?
And then South Carolina wins.
So,
yeah, keep going. Just whack them with that thing, please. We need to knock some sense into them.
UConn's, this is their 24th Final Four appearance in the school's history. And you're going to take a team that hasn't been there in a while over Gino Auriemma?
Yeah, I am. Because look, how even if UConn gets past UCLA, how are they going to stop the Lady Gamecocks?
All right. I think we have one thing we need to do to finally battle this out. Both of you stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Hey, can you get the ball from under the desk?
All right. Hash it out with the lacrosse sticks and make your arguments.
UConn is better. UConn's going to win it all. They have the better players, they have the better talent, and they have the better coach. Get that out of here.
No, they don't. Oh, you want to use that as a lightsaber now?
No.
We could do that. We could light these things up.
I'm defending myself, man. That's what I do. That's what my job is, a debater,
well,
man.
I'm defending my takes. How about that? And guess what? My final take here is that South Carolina's going to win this national championship. The Lady Huskies.
All right.
No,
who was the better coach? You guys got to pick.
Gino Auriemma.
Are you giving up?
Look,
Are you putting your stick down? You giving up?
Well, there's nothing for him to say. Look, Gino Auriemma is great, but he's toward the end of his career, and UConn have slowed down. The dynasty.
You put your stick down. Are you giving up?
Yeah, look, the dynasty has slowed down over the past years, and this South Carolina dynasty is the one that has taken headwaves over the past few years, and they are the new
When in
UConn.
doubt, go Gino.
UConn's old news.
When in doubt,
South
go
Carolina's
Gino.
the new.
When in doubt, go Gino Auriemma.
I don't know if Gino has it anymore, Tyler.
Yeah, he does.
Are you really going to take that?
I don't know if he has more. I don't know if he has any more championships in him.
That UConn Huskies
I don't know if he has any more championships in him.
Yes, he
How
does.
about that?
Yes, he does.
How? Why?
Well, because Gino's always been consistent his whole career, even through NIL and everything. He's still been a solid coach, and he's gotten the team in the best
First of
position
all,
to win the
he's
title.
had most of those players before NIL because Paige Beckers is 28 years old and has been there for 6 years. She's been there for 6 years and was there before NIL even became a thing.
No. Paige Beckers has just been a solid player. UConn as a team has been solid. It's more than just Paige Beckers.
He's giving up, Tyler.
It's Sarah Strong. She's been elite. Gino, when the game's on the line, you give it to Gino. Don't mess with Gino Auriemma. He may be an Italian stallion, but my God, he's a solid coach, and he gets the best out of his players.
The only Italian stallion's Rocky.
Oh, whatever. That's nothing to do with the coach.
How do we go from coaches to Rocky?
Yeah, I want to know that.
Him saying false names. And guess what?
Nothing false about Gino.
Do we have a ball? Do we have a ball for this?
Yeah, it's underneath the desk. I tried to scoop it out earlier.
I can't.
Megan's going to get it. No. Yeah. All right. Fine. We'll sell us like men.
I want to see if you can catch, Tyler.
Yeah, it goes that way.
So whoever catches the ball first wins the argument. Is that how this works?
I think so. I think we can agree to that.
Sure.
Here,
I think y'all are a little too far apart though. Got to make it easier.
Yeah.
Hey, make it easier. Come closer. Come closer. Make it easier. Come closer. So first one to drop it loses. First one to drop it loses the bank.
So he already dropped it.
Okay, starting now. Starting now. We have a winner! Sorry, Tyler.
UConn's winning.
Well, you didn't catch the ball.
I don't play lacrosse.
I don't either. I don't either. Never played lacrosse in my life. I'm just like that.
Yeah, well, up next, Ryan Weidman made national headlines this week. Don't mix, going for 2 here on the Extra Point.
What was that?
Bring it. Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. It's time for Going for Two.
We could not go on without talking about one of WKU baseball's best players, Ryan Weidman, Megan. He has been doing it for Western this year. He's just now been nominated for mid-season first-team All-American. Like, he is this guy for Western. When the coaches look at him, they can tell that Ryan Weidman has the best average on the team. He's smacking the ball. He's almost hitting 500. He's hitting .455 right now. He's just killing the ball. And like you said, you remember that home run robbery? How do you do that?
That was insane. Like, I thought he was only good at hitting. I really thought he was our offensive player. But with that catch, he proved that not only can he do offense, he can do defense too. He can catch that ball in moments that matter. And that's what shows that he's a good all-around player. He's not just good at hitting the ball. I mean, take a look at this. You can see that amazing catch right there. He's really proving.
Boom.
He's proving his worth on both offense and defense. Like, reaching over the fence, that I wish I could have seen it live. I wish I could have seen it live.
I had ladies behind me, like I said earlier, just screaming. Like,
I probably would have been one of those ladies screaming.
The Vandy guys were just not happy. You could tell that they were just really upset that they were like, oh my gosh, did we just get a walk-off win? Nope. Ryan Ryman has the ball.
He stopped them from winning the game right then and there. That would have guaranteed Vandy's win, but because he was able to stop it, we were able to go on to extra innings. And it really showed how good of a player he is. And if you remember, Sam Houston, I was at that game, and oh my gosh, the amount of bases he stole should have been a felony. Should have been a felony with how much he stole. Like, he was literally stealing, I swear, every base. That's like, what, 10 counts, felony stealing? Isn't that a thing? But
yeah, he was taking all those bags home for dinner.
He was taking every base.
Taking them home.
He stole more bases than he would run.
He's up for that Golden Spikes Award watch list.
He deserves it. I mean,
he's flying.
Can we count what he can do well? He can run the bases. He can hit the ball. He can catch the ball.
He can run.
And he can
get the ball.
And get the ball.
Exactly.
He can catch the ball. He can throw the ball.
You think he can pitch?
I feel like he could. Like, if we really put him up to pitching, he's like all around.
Like those guys in high school, like, you pitch and you play. So
yeah.
He might not have been the best pitcher, so he's not on the mound now, but in high school, he was probably throwing gas.
Yes.
He had to have been throwing gas in high school. Like, just straight missiles.
He is phenomenal. I really think that he's going somewhere. I hope he stays with Western.
Shout out Ryan Wyman, bro. Please come give me a handshake. I love you. You're a great player.
I think Lincoln has a celebrity crush.
Your swing is beautiful. He's my celebrity crush on the baseball team. You know what it is? But unfortunately, that's all we have for you today.
See you next week.
And as always, the extra point is up and it's good.